Hey everyone, as you can see, we're in Payson, Arizona, so thanks for tuning in to Arizona Dreams. And today we're taking you to the Rim Country, specifically Payson, Arizona, which is about an hour and a half north of Phoenix, Arizona, along State Route 87. It's actually a straight shot up 87. Payson, Arizona's got about 15,000 people, so it's kind of a small, sleepy town in the heart of Arizona. It's considered the center of Arizona where we're at. You can see there's welcome home to Rim Country. They call it Rim Country because of what you see in the distance here. It's the rim of the mountains. It's the edge, and it's beautiful. It's actually called the Mongolian Rim, and this is Payson here. It's a nice, small, sleepy town. Very quaint, almost village-like. Average age in Payson is about 57. That's the median age. So a lot of retirees come up here. Early retirees will come up here in this area. Median household income in Payson, $45,000 plus or minus, $45,500. Median property value, $207,700 plus or minus. List price, $299,950. So a slight disparity in list to actual value. And average sale is about $256 plus or minus. So there's some ideas of just kind of what we're looking at. The schools here, they're flat out terrible. There's 19 schools. Only 4 that were actually rated on greatschools.com. One got a 6 rating. That was an elementary school. There were 2 5s, and one had a 2, and the rest were not rated at all. But you know, I said that it's sleepy and it's got its roots. This is the origin of the rodeo. This is where rodeo started. And in fact, they host several annual rodeos here. But they also have, you know, Dairy Queen. They have Burger King. I believe there's a McDonald's here. Don't hold me to that one. This is a spot that we come to for our getaways from the heat in the summer, because it's usually 10 to 15 degrees cooler here than it is down in the valley. And for an hour and a half ride, that is an absolute beautiful ride. You can't beat it. I'm going to pull in here so this won't wait. This is the main strip through. They also have a Buffalo Donuts, which is a very popular donut chain. So again, this is the main thoroughfare through Payson. You can see that, you know, you got your Carl's Jr., your Arby's, and car dealership on the left, a little Payson Village with Dollar Tree and Bashas'. So you got your grocery stores represented. I think there's a Safeway across the street, as I recall.
In 1 mile, enter the roundabout.
True Value Hardware, and there's a Walmart. So there's plenty of things in this small, sleepy town as far as the modern amenities are concerned. The cool thing about it is the area is set in the wilderness. We're right in the heart of wild country. You got True Value and Ace. So your hardware needs are definitely represented, which makes sense. There's when you get a little more rural, people tend to try to take care of the things themselves more than they do relying on professional services. And this is certainly an area where a lot of people come up and use as a jump-off point to go do camping. You know, this is in the Tonto National Forest area, so there are all kinds of camping opportunities, and there's all kinds of water around here. There's lots of creeks. There's lots of forest fisheries, you know, that are managed by the Ranger Service, the National Forestry Ranger Service. So a lot of the fish that are in Arizona, they're up in this area. The fisheries, there's many of them up in this area. Not all of them, but there's many. Just an interesting note, Arizona has its own breed of trout called the Arizona trout.
The second exit.
You can only get them in Arizona. So just kind of a cool thing. And they're in the streams and the creek beds and stuff like that. There's a trading post. Kind of design. I don't know if that's an original building or not, but
At the roundabout,
you gotta appreciate the pioneer style look of it.
North Beeline Highway.
Forgot to beat that. As my GPS just so kindly announced to us, we're heading towards Beeline Highway. That's another major road for Payson, and it allows you access to areas like Pine and Strawberry. Pine is the home of Tonto Natural Bridge Park, which is is a state, maybe a federal
In 1/2
national
mile,
park.
enter the roundabout.
Quiet, lady. One correction. I said Beeline's another thoroughfare. 87 actually kind of becomes Beeline. And I said that a lot of people are more DIY here. There's a Home Depot as well. So you definitely got the supply stores that will enable you to do some of your own home maintenance. Payson has an 86.2, give or take, percent white, 9.3 Hispanic, 2.5 Native American, and the rest didn't make it over 2%, so I don't have stats for that. This is in northern Gila County. That's Gila. It's about 19 square miles. If you're wondering, the valley in general, Phoenix Valley, is below sea line. So if you're below the line there and you come up to Payson, you're going up to about 4,800 feet elevation. If you go over to Pine or Strawberry, you're going up to 5,000 and 5,500, give or take, in those areas. Payson is home to the Beeline Cafe, which I hope to get us to. It also is the home of the Zane Grey Cabin, and if you don't know, Zane Grey is the author of Riders of the Purple Sage, so that's kind of a big claim to fame for them. And they are also home to the Rim County Barbecue Classic and, more importantly, the Testicle Festival in September. And you're wondering, why the heck would I mention that? Well, apparently it's a big deal in a lot of small towns throughout the U.S. Montana has one that's very well known as well. Basically, it is the eating of said things fried. And they have it every year in September. So there's a nice little tidbit for those of you wondering about that. They host an annual rodeo called the world's oldest continuous rodeo. It's a world famous event. It started out as just the hands in the Payson area, but quickly grew to everybody in the state coming to show their roping skills, etc. Payson is, and Arizona is, unbeknownst to a lot of people, really the heart of the Wild West. If you think about it, Tombstone, you've seen movies about it. So just some more to give you an understanding of what life in Arizona is like. Phoenix Valley used to be, the majority was farmland. So you kind of get the idea that there's a lot of ranches, and there's still a lot of ranches in the Payson area.